All right, here we go, and we're going to say good morning to Andrew Parsons, MHA for Burgeo Lapoil. Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Good morning, Pete. I'm not doing so great this morning, actually.
What's on your mind?
Well, I'm pretty, for lack of a better word, I'm pretty pissed this morning. It's a Monday morning, and I'm been on the phone most of the morning dealing with a lot of people in this province that just had their jobs cut on Friday.
Yeah, they do seem to go out late on a Friday. It seems to be a pattern emerging there. But so, what are they saying? Who are they? Who are they working for?
Well, these latest individuals are people that work in the province in employment assistance services.
Yes.
And there's a number of offices throughout the province. There's and mainly in rural areas that they would be cut within the next 3 months. I believe their contract will run out at the end of June. Mm-hmm. And it's just absolutely shocking. I know right now I'm still trying to count up, but I know here in my own district I'm dealing with, I think it's 7 or 8 job cuts. I believe we've been talking at least close to 100 people, possibly more. I'm still trying to find out, and I'm getting calls from everywhere. There's people in Labrador getting cut. There's going to be people in the Great Northern Peninsula being cut. And these people are on the ground providing frontline services, employment assistance services to people. And, here they are being told that, no, your services are no longer required.
Yeah, these are the jobs that are apparently being brought in-house. And some of these people, as you know, have been doing this work for, some of them, 20 years. I know a couple of people who've been doing it for a long, long time.
Yes.
And did not see this coming down the pike.
Well, everybody's been worried. Everybody knew that cuts were coming. We've been told, again, due to the fiscal mismanagement of this government, that cuts were going to have to be made. But again, you know what? To add insult to injury, the wording of the release makes it sound as if their work wasn't even respected. New delivery model will improve employment program services. So it's one thing to lose your job, another thing to be told that we didn't really think you were doing much with it anyway. And that's how this is worded, to make it sound like the government's doing a good thing. By cutting all these people, they're going to provide better services. And I really don't see how that is possible. Not one bit.
I guess there's many ways to improve it, and one would be to do it in a cheaper fashion. That might be improved from somebody's perspective, but certainly not in these workers.
Well, certainly not to the people all over this province now. And again, I'm trying to get the numbers. I've been working on this week and trying to get a hold of people. And again, I just found that I know they're in the Community Education Network, which covers, say, Portobello, Stevensville, the Great Northern Peninsula. There's at least 20 there. Mm-hmm. I know there's people down in Ramy and Burgeo. And again, it's funny, I was at the Bread and Roses dinner last night here in Portobello. And, there's usually a time of celebration. And they're so upset because the Gateway Women's Center here in Portobello just had one of their jobs cut. They have a person that helps females, helps women with finding employment, and they just had their position cut as well. So, you're trying to celebrate women. I guess it's funny, the Premier just had ovations, which would seem to be a great initiative to support women in their achievements. And the majority of people getting cut here in this province right now with this latest cut are females. I'd wager a guess that it's probably 90% or more.
Women, and of course, a lot of these jobs are in communities that can ill afford to lose these people. Their salaries, obviously, going into the region, but also their expertise. And a lot of these people
cases where they're working for people with disabilities, they're working for women, and many women that come to just say the Gateway Women's Center at the lowest point in their lives, and they're trying to get employment, and now that service is cut. At the Cirque Center here in Portobello, which again is another service, trying to provide employment assistance and a number of other services. Boom, they're cut. And they're dealing with disadvantaged people, trying to help people get employment, and boom, they're cut. I've got a couple things here I just want to put out, and I'm hoping, for the love of God, that somebody can explain it to me. They're saying they're going to improve services, but I'm just going to look at my area alone. They're now saying that these services, there's been, I think it's going to be at least 5-6 job cuts just in Portobello alone. They're now going to send these people to advanced education and services. Mm-hmm. Now, nothing against those individuals because they are great people and great workers, but they had their workload directly, increased significantly with, all these other people that were being serviced by these other offices now had to come there. So how do you make it more efficient that way when you have your workload dramatically increased? The second part is I'm aware of at least a couple people that will be retiring from advanced education services in that office. Now, with this hiring freeze, are their positions replaced?
I would say likely not, but on top of that, there could very well be some job cuts within that department as well, couldn't there?
Well, yes. So I'd love for the minister, for the premier to come on and explain how that improves services, how it makes it more efficient, because I don't see that coming one bit. And this is due to their mismanagement of this province. And again, the next point I want to make, I'm pretty sure that this would have stemmed from the John Noseworthy report. Remember, Mr. Noseworthy got a nice on-tender six-figure contract to come in and help figure out where the cuts are going to be made. Mm-hmm. His report, which hasn't been released, and I don't think it's going to be released, was this a part of it? Are you going to let us know what your master plan is, how you're going to make these cuts, or are you just going to do it in dribs and drabs and sort of lead people on and let them sit there in suspense wondering if they're going to have their job in a few months? I'd like to know what's going to come out of that. I mean, the report is done. The public paid for it. It'd be nice for the public to know what they're going to get out of this.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine why we wouldn't be able to see that report. It was certainly paid for handsomely, and not sure if it ever got finished. Apparently used up all of the money allocated to that position in that 9 months. But in any event, can't imagine why we wouldn't be able to see it. We paid for it. It's ours. Let us have a look at it. But in addition to that, of course, they have other expertise on now. Mr. Locke is working for the provincial government at this time to help them sort out what they're going to do with the budget, etc. And perhaps he has some more insight for us as well. As
no shortage of senior positions being appointed in this province, but it's the people on the front lines, and this is just the start. It's going to happen elsewhere, and it's the people that are directly on the ground helping our citizens that are getting cut, not the people higher up. The Premier needs to practice what she preaches. She needs to start from the top down if she wants to find efficiencies here. I'm hoping I can find out more information. I'm trying to get in contact with as many offices as possible, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to be back on again as soon as I find out how many people are losing their jobs. And more importantly, how are they going to provide these services in the future with less people providing? I'm interested to find that out, and I'll be continuing on. I'm sure this is not going to be the last one of these phone calls.
No, indeed. Thank you, sir. You've started it off, and I'm sure we'll get some response. Whether or not we get it from the government, we shall see, but fingers crossed.
I hope so, and I appreciate the time this morning, Pete.
All right, all the best.
Thank you.